My name is Jevon. This is my documentary about football. Football is a passion that I've held since I was very young, maybe 4 or 5. It's probably the most popular sport, but everyone I feel has a different outlook on football and different experiences. I've tried to interview as many people with different views and outlooks to get the most wide variety of opinions and experiences. So hopefully this documentary does a good job of showing that and showing different people's experiences and how someone's background can differ how they view football. Hopefully, no matter your opinions on football, you can find this documentary interesting and share similarities with some of the people's stories. So, yeah. What is your name?
Athea.
Seth Turner.
Brian Todman.
Juliet.
Alan Rollason.
My name is Becky Smith.
Philip.
What is your association with the sport of football?
I watch it. I watch it. I don't really watch a lot of football games, not like the ones I'm not interested in, but I only am interested in watching and interested in the scores if it's like Wolves, because that's the team I support.
I have played it and watch it now and then.
Had multiple associations, originally from a child playing conference level youth football all the way up into college level at Swindon Town.
Everyone in my family's played it, apart from me.
Oh, that's a long question. I've always played it, watched it, enjoyed it.
So I have followed football since I was really small. I went to my first game when I was 4, and it was a Tuesday night game away at Bournemouth. But I also played football for Redruth United, ladies team.
Well, I've played football since I was very young, since I was a child. And all through my life, and I finished playing football when I was 38 years of age.
When did you start playing or liking football, and why?
When I was about 10 or 11. Don't know why, just have fun, I guess. Not really sure. Stop being a lazy that's probably why.
I started really late. I always enjoyed football. I was just always a fast kid, and a bit about year 6, I think it was, I had a school teacher called Mr. Ball in Houston School, who took me aside and ended up teaching me how to play football and got on from there.
So my dad took me to football when I was 4, and I support Bristol Rovers. And Bristol Rovers are the team that my grandparents supported, so it's kind of inbuilt into our family that that's the team that you support. I started playing football when I was at primary school, so I think I was in year 4, and I played year 4, year 5, year 6. Took a break when I went to secondary school and then picked it back up again when I was in sort of year 9 and 10, and still play now.
I started liking it when I was really young, and then when I was about 8, 9, started playing in organised matches for schoolboy teams, and then carried on playing till I was about 38, 39. And I've always watched it on TV and going to stadiums to watch games. Well, I played for local youth teams, for school teams, and then youth teams. Then the team that I played for the works, where I worked, I played for the works team, and generally just junior football. I was training with Wolverhampton Wanderers, a professional club. Then when I was 16, 17, I had a bit of a break. And then I started playing for local teams, which I carried on doing until I couldn't play anymore.
Yeah, so my starting career was generally just for Houston Coldrose, Falcons it was at the time. Had a lot of very good players, ended up learning from them, ended up just slowly becoming better than most people. From there I moved up to Pewsey, the Pewsey Vale Football Club, which has a high association with MK Dons. Once a year, we used to be viewed by the MK Dons, and that's just from under 13s all the way up to under 18s. And just literally moved up from there. And from 13, I was playing at Milton. From 14, Chippenham Town. We were playing teams like Truro City and so on and so forth. From under 15s, that was Swindon Supermarine, which is the team just below Swindon Town.
It was just something really where I just needed a break from it because I'd been playing it for so many years and I just fancied like not playing for a while. So I went 1 season, 2 seasons without playing.
So you didn't play professionally, but you couldn't.
So I had trials at Bristol City, which is the rival club to Bristol Rovers, and I turned it down because I couldn't wear the City shirt.
Why would you say that's such a big thing?
Why is it? So football's quite territorial in terms of the teams that you support, and I think Bristol's quite a small city, and because it's a small city and there's only 2 professional teams within that city, the rivalry between the 2 clubs is really big. So actually, like, I've got some friends who married people that supported Bristol City and they were Rovers fans, and everyone was like, the marriage is never going to last. And some people wouldn't go to the wedding because it was like a proper like divide. So
Why haven't you played?
Because I hate it.
Okay, say that without the sorry, actually.
Beep it out.
Okay. What is your preferred sport, and why do you think it's better than football?
My preferred sport isn't better than football, but I played badminton for a couple of years, and I did fencing for 6 years, and I did ballet, which isn't really a sport, but I did that for 6 years because it's more enjoyable than football. It's less argumentative, less violent, more enjoyable.
So you said that's like a main reason why you don't like football, violence and stigma.
Yeah.
A couple, yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm going to away grounds back in the dark old days of the hooliganism and that.
yes, so like I said, with the Bristol derbies, they're they used to be incredibly violent.
Most negative was watching Swindon Town versus Bristol Rovers at the county ground. Got very dark outside after kick-off, should we just say.
Rovers won, and then in a decision to try and keep all the fans separate, they kept the Rovers fans in the stadium.
We had riot horse, police on the riot horses, everything.
The City fans jumped over the top, pitch invasion, and I had to get rescued by a steward and delivered to my dad.
We just got in my mate's car and just drove the hell home.
There was nowhere to go, and the away stand was like a cage. Basically, we're beating people up, broke in through the back of the stadium. So we had to sprint onto the pitch because you were like stuck in the ground. I've been chased through Swansea, I've been chased through Oxford, chased through Reading.
Have you ever had any negative experiences being a spectator?
No.
Negative from a spectator, probably defeats and disappointments, because you always, as a spectator, want your team to win, and I suppose every spectator's the same. You expect them to win, so you get disappointed when they don't. So it's disappointment, really, is the negative with spectating football.
No, I don't think so. I mean, probably if I was at like a Wolves Albion match, I'd have quite a bad time. But no, not really.
Not really, no. I mean, I've gone down the Albion, and in the early days, there was no segregation of football fans, especially watching junior football, like the Wolves academy players and Manchester United academy players. There was no segregation. Everybody was together, and then later with football later on, it had to be segregated because of crowd problems.
I like how it brought people together in the World Cup, and I watched the Women's World Cup and I enjoyed it.
It brings people together.
I think it brings people together.
Like I said, a social thing gets people together and brings people closer.
it's the people sport. So, and no matter what club you support, no matter what town you're from, most of you can all just go there together as a family, as children, as kids. So, what for me is the biggest, it's a family game. Your kids can play with your grandparents, the grandparents can play with the children, everyone can play with everyone. It doesn't matter which race, creed, or anything. It's everyone's game.
So you've got that camaraderie with people who support the same team as you. You've always got something that you can have a chat about. You have like post-match, so people go to the pub or we'll discuss the game afterwards, and it's like a talking point. So I think it brings people together outside of just being something that you watch.
I think in an area like this, it plays a hell of a lot because it's like the focal point of the community sort of thing, especially when you get when your local team is in the the higher leagues, and well, carry on. I don't know how to answer that really. It's got a massive part in community.
Well, I think in this area we got 4 teams: Birmingham City, Aston Villa, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and West Bromwich Albion. And I think there's a lot of rivalry in this area, naturally, with every team being close to one another, and to me, it's just a way of life, supporting the different teams. I'm actually, for my sins, I'm a West Bromwich Albion supporter. My sons and the rest of the family are Wolverhampton Wanderers, so you can imagine I'm outnumbered. Why?
I think the main thing with it really is it seems like a game of opinions. Everybody sees the game differently. Everybody's got a different opinion on who's the better players and who should be playing when you're spectating and even when you're playing. And I think that's the main thing about it really, is everybody's got their own view on it.
And it was kind of funny seeing grown men get angry at women doing better than the men's team did.
Do you have anything else to add?
Nothing else.
Anecdotes?
No anecdotes.
Well, that's legit then. We can cut it.
You.